for your very Florida Crocs and discussing right now what their strategy should be. And all 5 players who you've seen play today will be back in action. Since it's 1-0 from the start, the first pick will go to Chicago win, but I'll let the commissioner explain to you everything.
Just seeing some of the highlight moments from the match and singles matches, doubles between these two teams. It is going to be very interesting to see how the Golden Game order plays out. We've seen some big ups and downs in some of these matches. First games, second games, third games, just going yo-yoing all different directions. That makes things interesting going into the Golden Game when there are 4 points on the line.
Florida Crocs are ahead 8-7 over Chicago Wind. Chicago, you will pick first and serve first. The first player will play 3 points. Who is your first selection? Damian Provost is your number 1. Coach?
Daniel Gorak.
Daniel Gorak is your number 1. And your number 2?
Mark Duran.
Mark Duran is your 2. Coach, your number 2.
Alex Kazaku.
Alex Kazaku is your 2, and your number 3?
Dan Liu.
Dan Liu is your 3. Coach, 3?
Ojo Naulapo.
Ojo Onalapo is your 3. And who is your 4? You've got Matilda Ekholm and Michelle Levinsky.
Michelle Lewinsky.
Michelle Levinsky is your 4, making Matilda Ekholm your 5. Who is your 4? You've got Danielle Pinto or Emily Tan. And his 4 is Michelle.
I'll do Emily against Michelle.
Emily Tan will be against Michelle, and Danielle Pinto is your 5 against Matilda. Good luck, coaches.
Oh, this is a spicy lineup here, Matt Hetherington. We've seen both coaches change things up. There's not a single matchup here that we saw in regulation. That doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah. You know, it's really interesting because the Chicago Wind earlier in the season had nightmares with the Golden Game. And it's been really interesting to see how Coach Eric Owens has changed things to try and give his team a better chance in the Golden Game. And I think he kind of led the charge this weekend with switching the gender matches around. And it's something that he's continued to try out. So very interested to see how this plays out.
Gorak takes the opening point from Provost. Another convincing backhand punch. 3-0.
3-0, Daniel Gorak.
Provost gets Chicago on the board. And that'll bring up Kazaku and Duran.
This matchup, style matchup's interesting. I mean, Kazaku has so much power. There's a good chance to back Duran off the table. Or it could go completely the other way.
You mentioned the disparity in terms of Golden Game success between these two teams. Florida's 9-6 in the season, Chicago's 6-9. And Florida's 9-6 in the season, but 0-2 this weekend.
Kazuku's out there going for broke. Once he backed around off the table, do you need to take that much risk? That's the question Kazuku needs to ask himself. Lands the last shot. Dan Liu and Ojo get to the table. Ojo had a pretty slow start in his singles match. Can't afford to have that here. Shot to the forehand. Good serve received from Ojo on Alapo.
In November, Ojo won a singles match against Dan Liu 3-0. They split the first 2 points on Liu's serve. Ojo's turn. And through the first half of the season, there wasn't really anybody better in the league in Golden Games than Ojo Onalapo, but his performance has fizzled a little bit. December and January, really struggled in Rock Hill for whatever reason. Some of those issues have persisted here in Hollywood, Florida. They split their 4-point sequence as well. And now we've got Emily Tan against Michelle Levinsky. This is a really fascinating matchup here. Levinsky's short return going to force Emily to lunge onto the table, slightly off balance and into the net.
Emily Tan goes on the offense. She is not intimidated by having to play a male opponent. Did really well against Princeton. And she came up against Nishant Labaka. Take a handful of points. But ultimately, it's Michelle Levinsky that comes out on top.
And he takes 3 of the 4. So Matilda Ekholm heads to the table with a 4-point lead. It's a big spot for Daniele Pinto.
6-10.
Pinto's had his ups and downs in the Golden Game this year. Went with a deep serve. Ekholm was up to the task.
That ball comes right into the body of Ekholm. Ran out of space, but she's handling the serve return really well. Topspin kick serves from Pinto. Neutralized by the backhand of Matilda Ekholm. Just making sure there are no sweat spots on the table, Ekholm. Big trouble if the ball hits that and gets a little damp.
Yikes. Service error gives a free point to Pinto and Chicago. Ekholm needs this for the split and gets it.
Big effort from Matilda Ekholm. That could make all the difference for the Florida Crocs.
12-8 as Gorak and Provost, the 2 first-round draft picks, return to the table in a big spot.
Pressure's on for Provost. Daniel Gorak is riding a bit of a wave today.
Eric Owens wants a timeout. Florida leads by 5 here in the Golden Game. Crocs looking to put the finishing touches on what would be a 14-7 win.
Yes, I'll go flat.
Yeah, I think keep it simple. Yeah.
One long and one flat, I wanted. But I lost the timing.
It's good. It's good. You're okay. You're okay. Be confident.
It's very noisy.
Provost back at the bench, but Daniel Gorak really quick back to the table. Wants to keep riding that momentum. The Crocs ahead by 5.
Worth mentioning, Florida has never lost a Golden game to Chicago. They are 3-0 in this department previously.
Loud cheers from the Chicago Wind bench from Emily Tan.
Daniel Gorak with 2 serves.
A big alley for her French teammate. And another one from Emily Tan.
Much deserved.
Provost wins the battle. He's taken 2 straight since the timeout.
Into the double digits.
And Provost looking sharp back from the table. The Chicago Wind pushing back. There's some pressure here now on Alexandru Kazaku. He didn't have a particularly favorable showing against Marc Duran in their first rotation. If he can take all 4 here, it could have some pretty big implications in this Golden game. One more and he'll tie the score up.
Big point for Marc Duran.
So quick on the serve receive and then slowed things right down on the next ball. You could see how shallow that bounce was.
Marc Duran like a raging bull running into the table at full speed and somehow surviving the point. Come on.
The Crocs crowd are well into this. Kazaku all the way at the back barrier.
Kazaku salvages the last point, earns the 2-2 split. Dan Liu, Ojo Onaolapo up next.
Chicago Wind is certainly within striking distance, but Dan Liu needs to do his team some favors here. And he will. There's a big task on Dan Liu to alleviate some of the pressure that's going to come back onto Emily Tan in the next matchup with Michelle Levinsky. If he can give the Chicago Wind a lead, that would certainly help. Takes the first 2.
We've heard all the different players in the league talk about the emotions of the Golden game, and it stirs you up inside. It is a roller coaster to be a part of it. 15 all. Ojo gets the return error to prevent Chicago from surging in front, at least for the moment. These Crocs fans finally celebrate a win this weekend. Oh, what a return from Ojo. The backhand block winner.
Tan in the pressure spot here. She's been under pressure in a golden game before. Held a reasonably good position there in that rally. Levinsky with the counter on the backhand. Gets the ball out wide. A little more frustration showing on the face of Emily Tan there now.
Emily needs to win one of these next 2 points, otherwise it's over.
Against the serve of Michelle Levinsky, it's going to be a tough ask.
Levinsky wins the golden point to close out his singles match after a rough start. And now he's won 6 of 7 points in the golden game against Emily Tan. Match point for the Crocs. And it's over. Michelle Levinsky able to get the job done in the golden game. And Florida finishes its weekend with a hometown win.